Well, welcome back, parents. Listen up. Our next guest says boundaries are a beautiful thing. Chantell Preston of Preston Partners has practical strategies to balance life at home and at work. We are so grateful that you are here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Laura.
Okay, so you say that we can run our family like a CEO. How do we do that, and what are the benefits?
So I think as life continues to get busier and busier, we're all struggling trying to figure out how can I juggle everything that's going on. So I had to incorporate things within my own personal life to save my sanity, number one. And so those are things that I already did at work. You know, as at work, everyone needs to contribute. So in my household, everyone needs to contribute. How do I delegate? Why am I taking on all the responsibilities? And that puts me into a situation where we have weekly meetings. We call them family meetings. And those family meetings are really for us to sit down and talk about what's everybody's schedules that week, what do we need to have. Everyone knows what's happening, so your crisis doesn't become my crisis, which for those of us that have kids understand that that usually happens. Yeah. So how do we run our families similar to our businesses? It's not impersonal, but yet preparation really saves the sanity of everyone.
It is so true. And even if you have a blended family too, it might be nice to expand that to different households. I do want to talk about boundaries, because you said that, you know, work and family, you can create those boundaries. What are your top tips?
I think that we all need to change our expectations of what we can get done in a day. I think we all have the never-ending to-do list. So what are your top 3 priorities that day? We all think we have to get everything done on our to-do list, but what are the 3 things that you just have to get done? Let's focus on those things first. But let's also block time for ourselves, for our families. And I think we take that for granted. We're like, oh, we'll do that later, and then something comes up. So block a meeting with yourself for self-care. And I do that in the morning times. It's an hour. I don't cancel a meeting with a client, so why am I going to cancel a meeting with myself? But I also do that with my family. Is in the evening time, a lot of people think, oh, I've got to be at everything. I'm a big one for quality over quantity. So how do I set that couple hours aside? Because to me, a good parent is someone that's not necessarily there all the time, but is emotionally there.
Yes. Well, okay, so let's back up a little bit. So let's say you do make that sacred time for yourself. You have that meeting with yourself. How do we not feel guilty? Because that's a very real feeling.
No doubt, and I think we all struggle with guilt. So I want to remind everybody, when you feel guilty about something, it means you care.
Yeah.
So how do you not feel guilty? Because you're a better person if you're taking care of yourself. And I think for a long time, we've taken that for granted. So what re-energizes me? And it may be I'm responding to emails without distractions. I'm going for a walk. I'm going to yoga. I'm just going to watch a TV, because we need to listen to our bodies. We need to listen to our minds. And if we end up burnout, we talked a little bit about that earlier, you know, how can we prevent that from happening? And so it's all about, how do we want to live our lives, and how do we make sure we're showing up as our best person?
Yes. Okay, let's dive more into that burnout, because she says it's not a badge of honor. We're not going to get a bonus for the burnout. So would you say this is like a daily or a weekly thing? Like you said, you had the weekly meetings with your families, but how do we make sure, you know, we're not getting to that point where we're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted?
Well, I think it's, again, you got to listen to yourself, but it's also about controlling your time. You know, if you don't control your time, somebody else will. And so saying no to things that really don't help you achieve your goals and your dreams, say no. And I think we come from a world of, we say yes to everything. Yes. Why? Because that's what we're supposed to do. So I've had to learn a tactic of not saying yes immediately, but saying, let me check my schedule. So that gives me a chance to take a step back and say, do I really have the time to do this? Do I want to do this? Yes. And then I reframed in my mind, me saying no is not a negative, it's an opportunity for someone else. And so that helps me say no without the guilt. And so it's about really controlling your time and preventing people from controlling it for you.
See, it all works together. And you know what? You're not the only one telling me to say no. My producer is as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This is great information. Everyone, learn how to run your home like a CEO. Visit chantellpreston.com for more information and parenting tips.